Yeah, hi all, good morning. Hope you are doing well. At least you are doing some practice. So yesterday we understand what is a method and how it is different from a normal function. Okay. And today we are going to learn the most confusing part in JavaScript is this keyword. Okay. Like many beginners, like 90% of the JavaScript learners who are in the beginning stage, they will get confused about this concept, but don't worry, we can try it, make it easier for you. Okay, let's jump into the topic. So we know how to create an object. Suppose if you create a function like this, say hello, and if you written some logic here, okay, that is simple function. And if you create an object like employee, and here you can go with some properties, right? Properties and methods of first name. Suppose and Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, last name. Sorry if I did any spelling mistakes. Okay, first name and last name is there, and you can write the logic like get a full name. Get full name. So here we are attaching a function. If you call this function and if you provide the first name and last name, some x comma y details, okay, what it will do, it will construct the full name like just it will just do a concatenation and it will return that value to you. Okay, and you can return full name. Okay, that's a local variable to that particular function. So now you can say this is the function, and if you use any function as a key value pair, suppose this is a key and this is the value. If you use a function inside the object as a key value pair, this is called the method. Simple. This is a function and this is the method. That is, what is the method? Get full name. I hope you guys understood up to this point yesterday. So let me jump into actual topic. So now if you want to invoke, suppose I'm writing var output. Suppose if you want to get first name, what you will do, you can do employee dot first name. If you need last name, you can do employee dot last name. Okay. If you want to get the full name, what you need to do, you need to pass the arguments like x and y. If you give x value and y value, it will it will generate the full name based on these two values and it will give it to you. So for example, if you give, suppose L, and if you give Messi, what it will give, console.log the output. Okay, if you see the output here, refresh, right click and inspect, go to the console, you got the Messi information like a full name, like Lionel Messi, right? Some is full name. So but here This get full name is a property of an employee object, or you can say it's a player object. Okay, it's the player, like some particular player object. So here, if we give any value, suppose Virat Kohli, what it will give you? It will give you Virat Kohli, irrespective of whether that is a part of that object or not. So here you are giving values externally so that the Virat is going to copy it into X and Kohli is going to copy it into Y, and it will do X plus Y. These two are strings, that's why it will concatenate and it will return the value. So now if you want to understand this keyword, just wait for a few minutes. I want to give some good explanation for that. Suppose if you see, if you have an employee object, so just note down, this is one player. I'm going to create one another player here, another player, like we can say this is a player one, and this is for player two. So player one has a first name, like you are storing that object here. Just imagine you are storing that object here. Player one has a first name, something like Cristiano Ronaldo. So just imagine I write I should copy. Okay, Cristiano. Just imagine you have a double quotation inside of that, and I'm just going to write the last name colon Ronaldo. Okay, Ronaldo. Fine, good. And we have attached the get full name. Get the full name. Suppose you have a function, whatever you want, you have defined that logic. So if you create a player 2 in a similar way, so it will also have the same kind of structure, right? It will also have the same kind of structure. String structure, and the values will be changed. Suppose here I'm going to add Virat Kohli. Okay, I'm going to add in the double quotation Virat, and here I can give a Kohli. Either you can use single quotation or double quotations, but follow the same thing. So player one, first name Cristiano, last name Ronaldo, get full name. We should call the same method we have. Okay, here the logic we are going to implement now. The player two, first name Virat, last name Kohli, and get full name. So we are going to do the same thing here. So get full name. I'm saying this is the player one. Okay, and we are going to create another object, similar kind of object with the player 2. It is player 1 and player 2. So if you see, if you want the full name of that player 1, you can say player 1 dot get full name. What you need to do, you should pass the player 1 details, like player 1 dot the first name, comma, player 1 dot last name. So that what will happen, it will it you're giving you're calling the method which is there in the player one, and you are giving same object properties, first name and last name, so that it will take player one dot first name is Cristiano, player one dot last name is Ronaldo. It will copied into this x and y, and it will calculate and it will return. So same thing here, I'm just writing another one output, or you can say uh, player one full name is the first object. Don't worry, just follow me. You will get a lot of clarity. Why I'm taking this much of time, you will understand in a few minutes. So player 2 full name, I'm just taking another object, so another variable. Here what I'm doing, player 2 dot get full name. Here, so suppose whatever you, if you give a x and y value, anything, it will calculate and it will return. But here, this player 2 dot get full name is specifically designed to help player 2. That's why we are going to do player 2 dot first name, comma, player 2 dot last name. So if you see, so if you want to display player 1 dot full name, and the console dot log, you can add player 2 dot player 2 full name. So this is a variable. So just go and try to run the application. You got Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, why we got Cristiano Ronaldo? So we didn't change the information, right? Here Virat, this object is for Virat Kohli, so that now we'll get the proper results. Okay, first one Cristiano Ronaldo, second one Virat Kohli. Okay, now observe carefully. Here we are writing, okay, I'm just copying the same code here. Okay, here what I'm doing, okay, player one dot get full name and we are passing player one dot first name and player one dot last name. So what it is doing, okay, whenever you call get full name, it is going to going into the same object, this object. Okay, this is for player one, this is for player two. It is not, it doesn't go for another object, right? Because you have clearly mentioned that player one dot get full name. So it is going inside that object, and it is trying to invoke this function. It is trying to invoke this function. So just understand carefully. Already JavaScript engine have access to the same object. We are in the same object. Okay, but why we need to send these details again? Player one dot first name and player one dot last name. Okay, so the simple thing is, once you enter into anyone's house, okay, you no need to remember their first like names and all those things. Okay, if you go to their home, and already um, if you are in their house, you can call directly, right? So here, okay, I will give you a simple example now. So whenever, if you do player 2 dot get full name, you no need to specify player 2 dot first name comma player 2 dot last name, because anyway it is going to the same object inside of the object. So we have other opportunity. Without passing these values as arguments, we can read the first name and last name from the method. Okay, how we can do it? Now I will show you. So just observe carefully. What I'm changing, I'm not going to pass the player 1 and player 2 name. I don't pass it because already get full name is the method of that object. So we need to provide access to the same object to read the first name and last name. So anyway, he's going to the get full name, right? This get full name is already part of player 2, why can't we call the first name and last name directly from inside this object? So why we need to ask people to send as a argument? So don't worry, it's easy after 2 minutes. So how I'm writing? So if you see player 1, I'm just I no need this argument. So I'm not going to ask because I know because player 1 knows what is his first name and what is his last name. Okay, but you don't need to send those as a arguments from the function invocation. So how he knows now? Simple. Instead of putting depending on that parameters, he can do this dot first name plus this dot last name. So if you see, he will return that one. Simple. Okay, you don't need to pass because this get full name is part of player one. Here, this means player one dot first name. Here, this means player one dot last name because you are already inside of that object, so you can access this property directly with the help of this keyword. Okay, in the same way, here also we no need to pass the first name and last name again from this function invocation because already you are entering to their house, so that you can take the first name and last name there itself. You no need to ask third person because you are already there in their house. So how you can access it? This is simple. This dot the first name plus in- go up this dot last name. So if you see player one dot get full name, if you invoke this function, it will go to this object player one. Here this dot first name means this first name. This dot last name means Ronaldo. So when you call player 2 dot get full name, this dot first name is Virat Kohli. So whenever you are in player 2, if you use this dot first name, it doesn't go and read the Cristiano Ronaldo, right? So because you are in player 2, this get full name is a property of the player 2. So whenever you say this dot first name means, it will go and check the same object property first name. It will take that Virat here, last name here. So whenever you are creating an object and you are creating a methods to help the same object, so you no need to send this player one details again as a argument. So directly you can access from the object itself. So here simply, so here what we are doing, we are not passing, we are not going to pass anything here. What we are saying, already you are going to enter into their house, so that ask them what is their first name and last name. You no need to, I no need to worry about their first name and last name. Simply I'm calling player one dot get full name. Then what will happen? It will come to this object get full name. We have written this dot first name. So this means who is this? This player one. This dot first name is Cristiano. This dot last name is the Ronaldo. And whenever you call player 2 dot get full name, player 2 dot get full name, player 2 dot get full name, it will come to this object called player 2. And whenever you call this inside this object, this refers to the current object. So this dot first name means Virat, this dot last name is Kohli, so it will return Virat Kohli. Whenever you call player one dot get full name, it will return the Cristiano Ronaldo. So if you see, the logic is same. Get full name function, same variable, so same. I'm just copying the same thing. I don't change anything. So I'm just copying the same thing here because we have a same property names, right? First name is there, last name is there, but the only thing is values are changing, and this is a separate object. This is a separate object. You okay? So that we can write the logic. Okay. So hopefully you guys understood this. So if you see, you got Cristiano Ronaldo. So if you change the names, so suppose here Rohit Sharma, and here you can say that Lennon the Messi. So you will get, so if now player one dot get full name means it will go to the player one and get full name. Here whenever it is invoking this function, this dot first name is this first name, this dot last name is this Messi. Whenever you invoke this player 2 dot get full name, this means this refers to the player 2. Here this refers to player 2. Here this refers to player 1. So where you are calling this keyword based on that position, the meaning for this will change. Suppose if you are in India, if you are in India, so somewhere you can stand it and you can say that this is my country. So everyone understand that, okay, India is my country. If you go to the Sri Lanka and if you call that this is my country, the meaning will change, right? What is the meaning? If you go and if you go to the Sri Lanka and if you say this is my country, then people will understand that Sri Lanka is your country. So that means the meaning, the value of this will change based on the location from where you are trying to read the value. So if you are in player 1, this refers to the player 1 properties. Here if you are there in player 2, this refers to player 2 property. This is very very simple. Okay, let me know you guys understood or do you have any confusion. Okay, let me ask if anyone is there in live. Okay, who are there in live, just let me know you guys understood or not, because this is the most and important topic. No one understood. Okay, I think one student understood. What about remaining students? Homkar, Varshan, Srijan. Yeah, don't say lies. If you don't understand, tell me you didn't understand so that I will explain one more time. So here I'm saying before joining the session, I'm saying that this is the most confusing part. But looks like this is very easy, right? This is very easy. Okay, no. So let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. So here, whenever you call get full name, if you see get full name. So otherwise, I'm writing one more method here. Get details. Get details. I'm writing a function. This is the most important thing. Just observe carefully. So I'm here. I'm just writing console.log just this. Let's see what is there inside this. Okay, this keyword. So I'm writing same thing for object 2. So if I call player 1 dot get details, it should display what is there inside that this keyword. Okay, if you call player 2 dot get details, it should display what it is referring, what is there inside the keyword. So let's say we can do, because anyway we are doing console, that's why we no need to store, it's not returning anything, so that you no need to store the variable somewhere else. So directly I can invoke player 1 dot get details and player 2 dot get details. So here I will give us some message. console.log. Okay, first it will display player one details. After that, it will give one more message so that you will get separation. Okay, player two details. So observe carefully. Hopefully you can guess easily. So refresh. What is that? So if you see, if you console.log this, if you're calling this inside the player, if you call this inside the player one, it is clearly returning the whole information of that object. So this now this dot first name means L, this dot last name is Messi, this dot get full name is this one, this function. So whenever you come here and if you call this, this will refer to the same object so that you will get this whole object here. So if you see, whenever you call console dot like player one dot get details, you got first name L and last name Messi and get full name, you got that function information. The same way player two. Okay, now give me a confirmation that whether you guys understood or not one more time. So now we are going to learn super important concept. That's where people get confused, so that I'm trying to help to simplify the complex things, so that please give me a confirmation. Okay. Oh, Ashok, welcome back. I think you didn't join one or two sessions, right? Please join regularly. Yeah, everyone, just give me confirmation one more time quickly. Omkar, Samir, Sultana, Srijan, Varshan. So now I'm going to ask one more question. Just try to answer that. So if you see, if I do console.log this inside of this get details, of course, this is referring a player to. That's what we understand. Console.get details, console.log this inside the player one. Okay, you are getting this object, player one. So here, if I do directly console.log, if I try like this, what will happen? So if you read this inside the player 2, it will give a player 2 details. If you try to read this value inside the player 1, you are getting the player 1 details. And here, if I try console.log this, what will happen? Whether it will show error, whether it will show this is not found, or you will get any information or something. Just try to think in that way and tell me the answer. Key value details. But what is the value? For this console.log this, what is the value? Console.log of this means here you are getting player 2, because this get details method is a part of player 2. That's why if you call this means you will get this object, current object information. Here, if we call this inside the get details, this is a part of player 2. That's why you will get this information. But in the same way, if I call console log directly this, what will happen? Okay, version said it will give a player 1, player 2 details. Mhm. Because we are outside of that, so that if we call this keyword, automatically it will give player 1, player 2 details. Okay, good. At least you have given some answer. Remaining people, just try to give answer for this. This is the most important thing in JavaScript. I can say minimum 15 to 20% of the engineers who are working in IT industry, who are working in JavaScript also don't know about this. I can say 15 to 20% of the people. Okay, let's see what is there inside that this keyword. If you call like this, are you ready? So here I'm just giving one more message, console log. What the hell is this? Okay, let's see. Let's just for fun. So let's see what is there inside that. Boom. So for player one, like get details is giving player one details. Okay. For this, it is giving Rohit Sharma's details. For this console.log this, it is giving some object that is called window. Window. Oh my God, inside that alert, a top blur, lot of. So if you see, if so, observe carefully. So if this is a key and this is a value, this is a key and this is a value. So if value is normal, like a primitive, like a string or a number or something, you can call this as a property. If you have a method, so that if you have a function, that is a method, right? So here, if you see, this is one method, this is one method, this is one method, this is one method, this is one method. Lots of things are there. If you scroll down, oh my God, this is the big object. As a property is the length 0, local storage, location. What the hell is this name? Navigation, navigator. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Who created this one? Who created this one? So if you see, we know that player one we have created, so that nothing, we don't have any surprise that console.log this, okay, it will display this value. So here also console.log this, it is going in the browser and it is checking, okay, this is a part of some object. This method or this is part of some object. That's why it is giving that object. But who has created that object? So if you see, this is also an object, right? This is also an object. This is also an object. Who created that? Did you notice that window somewhere before joining this session? So because we are learning JavaScript from more than 15 or 20 days, 20 sessions, did you observe the window keyword or a window object anywhere in these 20 days? Can anyone tell me? సో మీరు ఈ 20 డేస్లో నేర్చుకునేటప్పుడు డీబగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు అయిండొచ్చు, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేటప్పుడు అయిండొచ్చు, మీరు ఎక్కడైనా ఈ విండో అనే వర్డ్ని చూసారా? Srijan said no, he didn't watch. Okay, no problem. Varshan said no. Okay, no problem. Anyone noticed that window, window, window? Okay, so let me explain one more time so that you will understand. So go back and suppose whenever you execute JavaScript code, what will happen? You have a big JavaScript runtime environment, right? Here we have a API section is there. API section is there. We talked about something. Of course, we didn't learn detail. So this is the event loop. So I told you everyone that please draw the diagram, right? So of course, many people drawn properly. Very good. This is the callback queue or microtask queue. The left side, this is the JavaScript engine. Inside of that, we have a call stack. Inside of that, we have a memory stack. We have the heap memory. We understand that we have a JIT compiler, right? Till that, hope you guys remember. Whenever JavaScript, whenever you start executing JavaScript code, whenever you start executing JavaScript code, we understand that it will create a global execution context, right? It will create a global execution context. And if you have a local variable, suppose for example, var a equal to 10, right? What will happen? What will happen? I told you that it will. So every time I'm using the curly braces, right? If you remember, go back and watch our videos again. I just used to say that this is the object, and inside of that a value, initially it is undefined. Later, once you execute in the execution phase, the a value will become 10, right? So this is the object, right? This is the object in the global scope. Just observe carefully. Right now, I'm commenting all this code. Okay, I'm just commenting all this code. Just have written var a is equal to 10. I'm writing console.log of a. This just 2 lines of code. Let's debug it one more time. Refresh, refresh. Just go to the sources. Okay, just put a breakpoint here. Just refresh one more time. Boom. You know, right? Where is that a value? Can anyone tell me? Where can I find this a value in this? Can anyone tell me in which section it will have? Whether it will be there in the call stack, or whether it is in the global, or whether it is in the DOM breakpoint, whether it in the global literals. Just ping me where you found that a value. Because if you had done a debugging, hopefully you know. Otherwise, definitely you don't know. Can anyone tell me where is the a value? If you have done a debugging at least one time, you know the answer. So, yes, version said global. Yes, yes, perfect. So it is there in the global, right? Global scope, expand that. So this is also an object, right? A colon undefined. So even here, if you see this player one, first name L, last name Messi, get full name is a method. It is also similar, right? This is also similar, right? A colon undefined. That means this is a key. This is the value. This is the key. This is the value. This is the key. This is the value. So if the value is the function, that is called a method. Alert is a method. Atop is a method. Blur is a method. Beta is a method. Catches is something other object. So if you see the F means that is a method. And observe carefully in the right side, you got the window, right? Are you able to see my screen, or I'm not sure. I think my video maximum will occupy this much. Hopefully you are able to see the window. Just ping me yes, you are able to see or not. Are you able to see this window, window, window? Just tell me yes or no. Are you able to see the name window in my browser, even in your browser, if you do the same thing? సో మీకు ఇక్కడ విండో అనేది కనబడుతుందా కనబడట్లేదా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? జస్ట్ టెల్ మీ yes or no. Okay, everyone should say. Version said yes. What about Samir and Srijan, Omkar and other people? Are you able to see it, or you are in sleep? Okay, Omkar said yes. What about Samir? Because this is not a classroom session. I don't know whether you are watching, whether you are sleeping, whether you are there in the call, or I don't know. That's why you should give answer so that I can understand. Okay, two people said yes. Okay, I can go with that. So this is window object. This is also a object, right? This is also object. So you have created player one. We have created player two, and here console.log this. It is giving a big object called window. Who has created this object? Who created this object? Tell me, who created? Samir created, or Srijan created, or Raghu created, or Varshan created? Who has created that one? So if you say simple logic, suppose our parents will give a birth, right? But you only, okay? No. So our parents will give a birth to, right? Like parents will give a birth to the kids, but who has given a training that how to cry and how to do all the activities and how to sense the taste, or how all these things, who has given all the characteristics to that? And once he came out of that, suppose if you see a dog is there, dog knows swimming automatically, but humans don't know swimming automatically. And lion knows that it will have only non-veg. Elephant knows that it should have only veg. Who is providing all these characteristics to that? That is a nature. I think old process is under window, so it is giving output as window. Yes, perfect. So if you see, before 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 start executing your code, before touching your code, JavaScript engine is creating a very big object, very big object. So for example, I'm saying var window. So if you see, he's creating the object alert some function. Okay, not exactly some function. He has created some function. What is there inside that? Alert, blur, a lot of things are there, right? Global alert, atop, blur. Okay, alert, atop. This is also a function, so that function. And a blur. This is also a function. So like that, it has created very the big object. Like it is giving all the facilities the God has created, provided all the things to the people, like air, water, sky, sun, everything is there. Okay? Those are not done by our parents. So who has created? God has created. Here also, who is the God for us in JavaScript? JavaScript engine, browser. Okay, before getting into this world, already everything is there. Everything is there. So you just create an object called a human being or a dog or something. Okay, here also, before writing any kind of logic, before creating a player one, before creating a player two, lots of things already done by the browser. So if you see now, I'm going to remove everything in the script. I'm going to remove everything in the script. I didn't write even a single line of code. What? We didn't write a single line of code. Save it, just refresh. So of course, at least we should have one single line, because for debugging purpose I'm just writing console.log this. So we didn't create a variable, nothing is there, nothing is there. But directly we are trying to read something, call this. So what will happen? Refresh the script. Just if you see, This is already created. This is already created. What is this? This is the big object. Length is a property. And if you see something called a f like this is the method. Same thing you can create on your own object. So this is a big object. So right now, here you are calling console.log of this means this is in a window object. There's the whole logic inside the window object. That's why. So now if you see one more surprise, if the method is a property of the player one, you are writing player one dot get full details, right? But here we are writing console.log. From where it is coming, this console? Console, from where it is coming? Definitely it should have an object, right? If you see, observe carefully in the alphabetical order. A, B, C. Where is that? Console, Baba. So CON, right? It is not displaying here. Can Okay, it is gone. So this, of course, this is a property of maybe I'm not sure whether it is hidden. I will clarify one more time. But if you see, if you want to access the player one properties, you are writing player one dot get details, right? Here also, this console is a property of a window. So if you see window dot console dot log. So here, welcome to Java script the world. So if you see, already it is there. So this console is a part of window. So by default we are in window. That's why you no need to mention a window keyword. You need to mention the windows keyword. But here I'm writing window dot console dot log, and without that also I'm writing console dot log. This is without mentioning. Okay, mentioning window. Let's see whether it will give output or it will give any surprises. So I'm just removing that breakpoint, just refresh, go to the console. If you see welcome to the JavaScript world, this is without mentioning the window. That means this console is a part of window object. So directly we are using console.log. So if you see alert, you can see that the hello. So it will give us some pop-up for us. The refresh. So we got the right pop-up. Hello. From where it is coming? This alert is also part of window. So that window dot alert. So I'm just changing the name. So I'm putting the dots. Just to go on refresh. So this is also perfect. So whether you know it or whether we remember the God or not, but God is always there. Either nature, you can call it as a nature or a God, whether because but the people are very very intelligent that we have divided gods into different religions and all those things. But that is a foolish thing, right? If you see, end of the day, definitely, if God is existed, he is the only one person or only one nature, something. Definitely, it will not be like Hindus or Christian God or Jain God, or we don't have thousand types of gods in the world. Definitely, only one God. That God name is God only, not anything else. Because with our intelligence, we have divided into different religions. That's a different story. But you should understand that before writing some logic, before executing the logic, JavaScript engine has created very big object that is called window. Inside of that, many things are there. So if you just put a breakpoint and refresh, so in the global, if you see that object name is window, and you have methods and properties, lots of methods and properties. Okay, you no need to break your head, but don't try to read all the properties. But slowly we can utilize some of these properties and methods very soon. So here if you see, now you can create your own object like this, where so player 1 equal to, so you can go with the first name colon, suppose Vijay, and last name colon triple R, and get full name colon like a function. Okay, like console.log. Okay, you can access this dot first name plus this dot last name, right? So here what you can do, if you want to access your own object, player one dot get full name, you can get it. So God has given some power to the all the creatures that they can create their own objects, but 99% of the people will forget that God is there. Okay, okay, God, you can't see the God, right? If you want to see the God, what do you need to do? What you need to do? You should debug. You should understand the world, you should understand how things are created, you should understand the nature. Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to teach you the spiritual things. This is for fun. I hope you can relate those things. Okay, so who is our god here? Window, bird. So if you see, lot of surprises are there. I think this is enough for today. So just to do a practice, just debug it. So suppose if you miss these two sessions, and if you're not able to do practice, if you're not interested to practice now, you don't need to join session from tomorrow because you can't understand anything. Simple thing. If you don't practice, if you don't know what is variable, if you don't practiced how to create the variables, how to create the object, how to create arrays and all those things, now happily you can enjoy your life. You don't need to join the session from tomorrow. If you want to learn properly, please practice. JavaScript is not similar to other programming languages. I'm saying JavaScript is not similar to other programming languages. Lots of twists and turns are there. If you don't practice, if you don't follow regularly, you will be in a big confusion. After that, you will hate JavaScript, and you will hate me also because I am teaching JavaScript. Okay, that's all for today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's session, and see you tomorrow. Please do some practice and come back. Okay, someone has question. Sir, I have a question. What is this inside arrow function? Oh, that is a good interesting question. But right now we didn't enter into the arrow functions, but I will give an answer tomorrow. Okay, bye bye. Okay, I should stop the live. Ashok, I will give you answer. Don't worry, because we didn't enter into the arrow function. Those are came in the ES6 features. There is a lot of difference between the normal function and the arrow function. Inside the arrow function, if you have a method, if you define method as an arrow function, if you call this keyword, it doesn't refer the player one. It will refer window again. So why it is happening? We can learn all these things slowly. Okay. Okay, I can say answer here itself. If you have mentioned method as arrow function, this will refer to window only, not the player one. So for example, if you have created, so why, we can learn slowly. If it is a normal function, it will refers to, if it is normal function, it will refer to player one only. So that is a twist. That's why JavaScript has lots of twists and turns. Okay, we can learn slowly. Okay, thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.